Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The God that has delivered us out of Egypt, the God that will watch over us and deliver us again. Thank you for bringing us to another one of your holy Sabbaths, for keeping us, giving us grace and mercy to continue to grow, to continue to build up in your words. Follow your spirit, not our own spirit, not our own will, but thine own will. And if we still have that spirit of rebellion within us, remove it from us and make us to be closer and closer to you. Make us holy, because you said, thou shalt be holy, for I am holy. So create us in your image and not in our own image. That give us that most of all. And again, don't let us seek our own ways, because we know that our ways are destructive to us, and your ways are life. Because blessed are those that enter to the tree of life and keep the commandments. And again, watch over the sick and shut in. Watch over all our brothers and sisters that are traveling to and fro throughout the world. And just continue to give us the right spirit to unify as a nation and to actually serve you with all our heart, all our soul, and all our might. And let the whole congregation of Israel be glad to come together, bless the food, bless the drink, bless everything you've done with us, and bless our fellowship. And I ask you all these things in your Son, Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I know what you was going to ask me. Yes, I did.
All right, you know what? Yeah, one thing. You left. I'm actually the class. I'm lost. Oh, shit. Hey, grace and peace to the 12 tribes. Shalom, shalom. Hey, what's going on, Donnie? How you doing? Happy Sabbath.
Well,
Happy
brother
Sabbath.
Donnie.
Hey. Yeah, we're gonna pay you a visit one week, you know what I'm saying? Tickets to Miami be cheap. Like,
yo.
yeah. But of course we'll get you up here first. But we'll get to all that stuff. Anyways, everybody, like I said, shalom, happy Sabbath. This class kind of been a long time coming. I'm gonna have to make it's gonna have to be 2 parts, and I actually need to do the second part, because every time I have so much content on a certain topic, and then I just don't even get back to it. I don't even get back to it. So I need to get back. This one got to be 2 part. Like I said, type of a class, again, true high value men. God's definition of high value men, because of course a lot of us know about Kevin Samuels. We know about the Black Manosphere. They was talking about high value men and all that stuff, being alphas and all that stuff. Well, we're gonna actually break into what a true high value man according to the Most High is, and we're gonna break into it, and it ain't gonna be no argument. You can't debate it, because God's gonna tell you what it is. when God speaks, everybody got to be quiet, and if you talk over God, then you're firewood, just in a nice way. But the first one, like I said, I'm gonna go into this one explaining what a high value man actually looks like. I'm gonna explain what a high value man is, and then of course the next one I'm gonna go more into what the sisters can do and how to interact and cooperate with a high value man, because women, our sisters don't know how to deal with a real man. They really hate real men because they are men. So if you're a man, you're not gonna want another man. It's like they feel gay. They like, no, they like, I want a woman, you know what I'm saying, not a man. So, like I said, we're gonna touch on high value men today. We're gonna explain what they are. Without further ado, let's get Mark 14, chapter 3. Hey, and everybody that's tagging people, yeah, all praises. Hey, tag, share the class on your page as well, and get it out there. And matter of fact, somebody that's in here, share the class into the. Actually, nah, don't even worry about it. I'll do it. Don't even worry about it. Oh shoot, I gotta get up one. I'll do it. Shoot. You can go ahead whenever you got it. You can read what you got.
Okay. This is the book of Mark, chapter 14 and verse 3. And being in Bethany, and in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at meat, there came a woman having an alabaster box of ointment of spikenard, very precious, and she brake the box and poured it on his head. And there were some that had indignation within themselves, and said, Why was this waste of the ointment made? For it might have been sold for more than 300 pence, and have been given to the poor. And they murmured against her. And Jesus said, Let her alone. Why trouble ye her? She hath wrought a good work on me. For ye have the poor with you always, and whensoever ye will, ye may do them good. But me ye have not always. She hath done what she could. She is come aforehand to anoint my body to the burying. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole world, this also that she hath done shall be spoken of for a memorial of her.
And so whenever we bring out the true gospel of Christ, We're going to also pay homage to the sister that poured the ointment on the body of Jesus Christ. All right, let's dive into, well, first let's get Jeremiah 32:42. Let's get some good news real quick. Let's get some things we can look forward to. You know what I'm saying? Happy days are here to stay. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get them things. They are on the way, and we gotta get, if you believe happy days on the way, you gotta be with it. Hey, by the way, hey, Sister Tanya Thompson, shalom, happy Sabbath. Sister Chantel, I don't think I said happy Sabbath too, but shalom. Shalom, shalom. Hey, sisters that was able to get on Zoom earlier today, all praise to the Most High. Hey, Al, that's what's up. Hey, build up. Hey, matter of fact, look, sisters, y'all start working and start putting, building together. Put pressure on us, brothers. Put pressure on us so we can get our stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Because if y'all doing something, then we should always be doing more than y'all, because we're supposed to be the stronger vessel. You know what I'm saying? So put pressure on us. And y'all got pressure on us, and then, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna have to step up. So Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 42. Let's get it.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 32, verse 42. For thus saith the Lord, like as I have brought all this great evil upon this people, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised them.
So the Lord God of Israel said, just like I gave y'all a butt whooping, I'm going to also give you everything I have promised to deliver you. You know what I'm saying? He told us he would give us everything. He told us he would give us the world, literally. So he said, I promised you I will give you the world. But he also promised us if we don't listen, it's going to whoop our behinds. So just like he actually punished us, we should look at these curses. That's why he tells you the curses are a sign and a wonder to, they're informing us, hey, look, I'm real. I'm here. A lot of us don't believe in God. We don't believe in anything to hope for. But we should believe in something to hope for, because we should believe that nobody's getting tore up like we are. When you see the condition of black people being just completely destroyed, that's enough for me to know, oh, God's real. Because this don't happen to nobody else. So there's got to be a reason our people, who are better than everybody. I mean, like I said, the best looking, the strongest, the smartest, in every way possible, we better than everybody. And we on the bottom of society. If that don't tell you there's a God, nothing will. Because only God can keep the literal extensions of himself. Only God can keep them beneath everybody else, who is nothing to them. I mean, that's just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you don't believe me, just turn on the Olympics. just watch the Olympics. You're like, dang, look who's running everything. You know what I'm saying? Just simple as that. I ain't talking about the stuff that we ain't doing, like, you know what I'm saying, skiing or whatever we ain't doing now. We ain't, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's Summer Olympics. I don't know nobody say it's a Summer Olympics. I know. I'm giving an example. I remember when I was a kid, it's like, where the black people at when they was doing like Winter Olympics? Where they at?
Sure, you know we don't mess with that cold.
Nah, that's why I was a joke when they had the bobsled team.
Yeah,
you got the bobsled team. It was a joke, but anyways, we run everything. So, Amos 9:15, because he said, hey, just like he brought all this evil upon us, he said he will bring us good that he's promised us. So let's dive into some of these promises. Let's get some insight on what the Lord God of Israel said I have in store for you. You can read it whenever you got it.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 15. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land.
See, he said, I will plant them in their land. When you plant it, you're rooted. You're going to be there. So he said, hey, y'all going to be here. It's your land. I'm going to put you back where you belong. Like, everybody seen Karate Kid when the little Karate Kid 3, when he said the branches got broke off of one, and they kind of took it, and he took it back to his little shop and was working on it, the little bonsai tree. I think it's bonsai tree. Yeah. And it was messed up. And then once they nursed it back to health, they bought it back and they planted it right back on that side of the mountain. You planted the tree right back. That's what the Lord's gonna do with us. Once we get nursed back to health, he's gonna plant us back where we belong, on that mountain, where we supposed to be. Go ahead.
Which I have given them, saith the Lord thy God.
All right, so he said, I will put you back where you was. So that's the promise he gave to us. He says, I will plant you back. And he said, you'll no longer be rooted up. Meaning, we'll never go back into captivity. We'll never go back to slavery. Hey, shalom, Sister Gabrielle White. I was talking to the brother this week, and then he's like, hey, what if we went back into slavery, like, after this? And it's like, no, we can't. He said, I will never take you back out. Yeah. So it ain't gonna be no, like, how Egypt, we came out of Egypt and went to our land, and he's like, if y'all don't listen, y'all going to slavery. No, we not going back. It's it from here. So, Matthew 13:41. We ain't got to worry about going back. He said, I will no longer pluck you up. We will never be taken out of land. It says none shall make us afraid, meaning there will be no more enemies that can have us, shaken up. You know what I'm saying? But for those of us that don't get planted into the land, Matthew 13:41.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, and verse 41. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity.
So there's gonna be the ones that's righteous. He's gonna plant them back. Right now he's gathering those that offend, those that are offensive to him, that piss him off, that get on his nerves, that literally give him the middle finger and are against him. He said, I'm gonna take all of those things that do iniquity, which is sin, which is the breaking of the laws. I'm gonna take all of those people and I'm gonna have my angels gather them. Verse 41. Let's see where they're going. 42. I'm sorry.
Okay. I was about to say.
I'm sorry.
Verse 42. And shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Wailing and gnashing of teeth. You're gonna grind your teeth out. You're gonna be at the same time. Your teeth grit. Just the worst imaginable pain you can think of. All because you want to do iniquity, because you want to offend. So there's gonna be people planted back in their homeland and people that aren't gonna be. So this just like I said, that's the bad news. But the good news is, hey, those that follow the Lord, he said, hey, remember how I'm punishing you now? Just like I'm punishing you, I'm gonna bring you back to your homeland. So we got something to look forward to. All praise be to the Most High God of Israel. Let's get 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 10. Now we're gonna get ready to go into it. Like I said, true high value men. One thing about high value men is this. We're gonna start right here. You know what I'm saying? Because here's what a high value man is gonna do. He's gonna have confidence. Let's explain that. Go ahead.
You just say verse 10.
Yep.
Okay. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 12, and verse 10. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities.
So look, one thing, he's so confident that he's going to be glad about his shortcomings, his weaknesses. That's the confidence he's gonna walk in. It's a high value man. That's a true high value man that knows who he is. He's like, I'm the ish. Even though I got my problems, I'm still these things that's wrong with me. I'm confident enough to say, yeah, I got these problems, but I'm working on them. So he takes pleasure in his infirmities. Read.
In reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong.
He says, for when I am weak, then I am strong. Why? Because on verse 9 he says, because the power of Christ is what rests upon him in his infirmities. So we know even in our weaknesses, that's where Christ is going to pick up the slack. We know that he's going to back us up. And we have enough faith to lean on him. We not like, it's just me. No, we understand. I'm weak right here, but all praise to the Most High God. I got the Spirit with me to keep me straight, to give me just what I need, give me the right counsel to sustain myself, to give me the right counsel to overcome my problems. This is where he's strong, because the only reason I'm going to do something that my normal flesh wouldn't be able to do is because of Christ. I'm showing his true strength right here. When I'm weak, then am I strong. That's what he's saying. I'm strong because I'm able to overcome my weaknesses. So I'm confident in that. A true high value man is going to be confident no matter what, even in this problem. So he's not going to be one that's going to kind of try to hide what's wrong with him. He's going to be like, all pretending like he's all good. No, that man's weak. That man's effeminate. That's a real man is going to stand. He's going to own his ish. Think now they say in the world, own your. Yeah. He's going to own it. You know what I'm saying? He owns it. Hey, this is where I'm weak at. And when you're aware of it, you can work on it. That's what you got to do. You got to work on the things that you don't have, that you got to work on. So, that you're weak in. That's that high value man. That's the first thing you got to have. Got to have confidence. He's got to glory in his infirmities. You know what I'm saying? You got to embrace, what's going on with you. If you're a real king, you're going to embrace yourself. Let me go first. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, verse 1. Let's say we're going to jump into this thing. We're going to get into it. A true high value man.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, and verse 1. Wisdom lifteth up the head of him that is of low degree.
Now, the person that's of low degree, or people that aren't popular or aren't rich, people that's seen as nobody, wisdom lifts up your head. Wisdom's going to give you that, because how they say keep your head up, right? Hear that wisdom lifted up like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm strong. Read.
and make of him to sit among great men.
You see that? And he says, and makes him to sit among great men, meaning he can be amongst kings. He can, when you got wisdom, you can be around everybody. If you go back in the book of Daniel, Daniel stood before the kings. You know what I'm saying? Christ would stand before the king. Joseph stood before the king because these men had great wisdom. You know what I'm saying? The 3 Hebrew boys was brought before the if you have great wisdom, you're going to be in position to make things happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you that's that high value, because, you know, one of the things, and people that know about the Kevin Samuels videos, he always talks about having a network of other high value men. Well, the network of that is a network of other brothers, sisters that actually got understanding. I ain't talking about just brand new people in the truth. I'm talking about your high value. You're gonna get your ones that seriously walking this walk. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones you talking about your high value, because they seriously walking this walk, and they going, not only they making it through their struggles, make through their problems. They lifting up their head in their struggles. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're talking about. You got a network of these people that actually follow the commandments, which means also you got to have a congregation. For the people like, oh, I don't need a congregation. Yes, you do. You want to be because a man's going to be a man amongst other men. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, what you're going to have is the ones that separate themselves. They're the ones that they're not strong enough to do so. And they got to find excuses to, you know, remove themselves. But a true high value man, he's got that confidence even in his weaknesses. So, because even around amongst other men, like, yeah, I struggle with these things. But I'm gonna be like, hey, brother Quail gonna help me. You know, he gonna help me in my weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? I fully expect him if I'm on some BS that's contrary to scriptures, I expect him to be able to be the fill in and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Here, you gotta pick it up right here. You know, Rick, you gotta do this. That's what it takes. That's how you continue to get stronger and get built up. But if we don't do those things, then we're not a network of high value men. You got to have a network of them. You ain't got a network of them, don't work. You ain't a high value man. Give me Proverbs 22:29. And again, the wisdom lifts up the head, and he says, and you will sit among great men. You know what I'm saying? That wisdom, you're going to get that wisdom, and we'll get into how you get wisdom and understanding later.
22 and 20.
22:29. Yep.
22:20. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not be before mean men.
You see that? He said a man diligent in his business. So on top of having wisdom, you got understanding. Now you got application, because now you know what to do. Now you got to start applying what you know. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is part of it, but now you got to start to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why the scripture says in Romans, he says, matter of fact, let's read that. Romans 2:12 real quick. I'm gonna read it that way. I like to let the Bible speak. It's good for that. Let me see. My fault. 2:13. My bad. Romans 2:13.
Okay. This is the book of Romans, chapter 2, and verse 13. For not the hearers of the law are just before God, but the doers of the law shall be justified.
You see, the doers of the law. So the doers, the one that apply, or according to Proverbs 22:29, he says diligent. You diligent in your business. You know the business. It's our Father's business. We gotta be diligent in it. And he said, this man that's diligent will stand before kings. That wisdom is gonna lift you up. See, what happens is, and again, people that understand, a lot of people think you gotta have all this money to be, you know, so-called high value. Now, I'm not knocking having money, but look, if you can get a lot of income, a whole bunch of extra income, because I'm trying to get some, you know, separate extra passive income, it would be great. You want to have these things, but then understand there is nothing more valuable than understanding the wisdom. We're gonna get more on that. That's where your value really comes. And if you got that wisdom, and then you got that diligence, which is going to where you start to apply what you know, you're gonna stand before kings. Like he said you won't stand before mean men. He ain't saying mean men like, oh, that man's not nice, he treats me bad. No, he's talking about mean as in you ain't gonna stand around people that are of low degree, that are nothing. You're gonna be around people that actually know something. You're gonna be around people that are strong, or people that are rulers. It could be rulers of this world. You know what I'm saying? Rulers of this world that don't have wisdom, but you're gonna stand among those kings because you're important. You know what I'm saying? You're high value. That's why he says you will stand among kings. Matthew 6:19. Having that here. Sorry.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. You want to keep
Go
going?
ahead, yeah, you go ahead.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
So he says, lay not up yourselves treasures on earth. See, again, that what's being said, and again, we understand it. It's the what we're told about high value. It's saying you gotta have all this gold, all these diamonds, jewels, whatever. You gotta own all this stuff. No, he says no, and you got to do it over a sustained period of time. No, what you need over a sustained period of time is being in the faith. If you've been in a walk and been enduring for a period of time, now you're getting your high value. You know what I'm saying? That's when you actually are, okay, this person's consistent. They are diligent in that business. Okay, cool. He's saying, lay not up for yourselves treasures on earth. The focus ain't, gathering gold to yourself. He said, no, don't. He said, because thieves can take that. That money can be gone at any moment. You know what I'm saying? It can disappear at any second. We right now in Babylon, we can have all this money in our bank account. If Esau decided to just push a button, and we could have $50,000 and it just go down to zero. We could have $500,000, zero. They can just do whatever they want. We can't stop that. That money is digital. It's not real. For real, money's not real in a lot of ways. It's like the things that's valued, we don't understand. We put our value in the wrong things. Yep. Did you have something on that? You was thinking about something?
No.
Okay. Go ahead. Verse 20. Go ahead. But lay up for yourselves.
Yep. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
All right, Proverbs 23:4. So he says, lay up treasures in heaven. That's what we're trying to build up. We're trying to get our treasures in heaven. Now, we're talking about laying up treasures in heaven. We got to understand why it's important to not really lay up treasures on earth. Read that.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 4. Labor not to be rich, cease from thine own wisdom.
First he's saying, don't focus on just gathering again. Money if you're just focusing to be rich, and then he says, cease from your own wisdom, meaning you lean your own understanding. What you believe in is that you are God. You know what I'm saying? That's why in Proverbs 30 it says, don't give me too much gold. Because what he says is, when he says you give me all that gold, he says, I'm going to say who is the Lord. Meaning you're going to be focused on your own wisdom. So we can't be on our own wisdom. We got to follow the Lord's wisdom. No matter how smart I may think I am or how wise I may think I am, my understanding is nothing without what God tells me. I believe what he tells me, and it's true. Because again, he is the one that actually, he created me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people always like, how do you find out how this speaker works? Well, I'm going to go to the instructions, the manufacturer. Well, that's how I got to be with us as people, as men. How do I become the best version of myself, the best man I can be? Let me go to the manufacturer. You know what I'm saying? He created me. He told me, all right, look, this is how you work. You know what I'm saying? You wanna do this? This is how you move your arm this way. you do this with your mouth. You talk like this. The manufacturer. So to be the best man I can be, the high value man, I gotta follow the instructions that the Most High God has given me. That's the direction. Give me, what I say, verse. Oh, before I get the verse, go to verse 5. Go to verse 5.
Verse 5. Will thine set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven.
And then he's letting you know, are you going to set your eyes on that which is not? Which means which really ain't real. It could be gone at any moment. It can really fly away. If you, matter of fact, people have seen like people making it rain. Money almost be flying. It just be floating around. You can't get to it. So it can be gone in an instant. And then again, it does not mean don't have it, because we need to have money to actually be able to, to actually come together and build as a nation together. But we can't love money so much that we are not willing to give it up to the rest of the people for the greater good. But that's why he's saying lay up treasures in heaven. Part of laying up treasures in heaven is laying it up with your family, with your nation. You know what I'm saying? Which again, gotta have a congregation. I don't understand, but let's read on. Give me what's it going to? Job 18:3. Hey, what's going on, cuz? How you doing? Happy Sabbath, Isaiah. What's going on with you? Exactly. Man amongst other men. That's what we want to be. A man amongst other men. And the men that us, the men of wisdom, we can stand before, like I said, these other ones. What's that one I wanted? And again, like I said, money is needed for basic survival, but we're made to do more than that. See, a lot of us get caught up on basic survival. And we got to understand, when we just focus on basic survival, we're going to see where we at. Go ahead, read that for me.
This is the book of Job, chapter 18 and verse 3. Wherefore are we counted as beasts and reputed vile in your sight?
And see, he says we're counted as beasts, meaning we're seen as just animals. When you can just survive, that's a regular fox is going to survive, and iguanas running around to survive. You know what they do? They eat, sleep, doo-doo, and do it all over again. You know what I'm saying? They are basic creatures, but we have a system to live by, so we can. Matter of fact, John 10:10. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna let the Bible say it. I was about to say it, but I'm gonna let the Bible say it. See, we gotta be more than survival. Survival is a basic thing. I even said it on my post this week, because somebody had commented on the post I had with the not eating pork, and he's like, yeah, can y'all survive? And blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, that's a basic thing. Like that's something to, you know what I'm saying? Even if I don't have the skills, I'm going to figure them out. If I need to just survive, I'm gonna figure that out. Like it. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, some people ain't gonna, they might die soon or whatever, but point is, survival is, we've been surviving as black people, you know what I'm saying? We made it through the worst stuff. We've been in the, niggas been in the hood, ain't got no, ain't had hardly no money. People had crackhead mother and fathers. People done had, of course, had abusive, physical and sexual abuse. We done been through all kind of stuff, and we still here. So surviving is nothing. It's about thriving. It's about being in the right mind space. What you got?
I got a precept for you.
Go ahead. Let me see. I'll read it for you if you don't bring it up. What's your Job? What 5 and what?
Job 5 and you can go to 20. Where it's talking about the family.
All right. Job chapter 5 verse 20.
Actually 22.
22. All right.
22.
Job chapter 5 verse 22. At destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Oh yeah, hey, that's a good one. You see, the beasts of the earth. Beasts of the earth is everybody that is without understanding, without laws. That's why he says we're reputed as beasts. That's a hell of a script. We're seen as just animals. We got to be more than that. We're doing more than surviving. Like yeah, hey, it's a hell of a script.
But I'm referring to other dude asking you without pork. Could you survive? Well, of course, because us keeping the commandments, then the Most High is gonna make sure through any of these, like He says, and verse what is that 22, where He's basically
thou shalt laugh.
19, where He says He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. So in famine or whatever, we don't have to resort to pork to survive.
Yep. I mean, it's just. Like I said, in famine, that's your laugh. Like whatever's going on. Yeah, so we'll be straight. We just have to hang on. We have to hang on. Give me what does I say? Give me the John 10:10. Yeah.
John 10.
Okay, because again, we're acting like just regular animals.
This is the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life.
So Christ came for us that we might have life, meaning that we might do more than just survive. Read.
And that they might have it more abundantly.
Abundantly. See, we got to live in abundance. We've been living on minimum
survival mode.
Yes, survival, on scraps. Christ came for us to live abundantly. This wisdom is for us to live abundantly, to grow, to be strong.
Most definitely.
So when you're talking about being a true high value man, you got to actually be in a mind space of, hey, an abundant mindset. A high value man wants the most out of it. You don't want to. Right now, we just find with the little scraps that we're thrown by our oppressors. We got to want more than that. You know what I'm saying? We got to be looking to be in a thriving lifestyle. Because Christ said, I want y'all to live abundantly. I want y'all to thrive. He said, matter of fact, watch this. Where's that one? He said they should have had watch this. Go to Deuteronomy 32 real quick. I think it's
Deuteronomy 32.
I think it's, he said, I don't have no. Oh, that they would have. Hold on. Where is it? Rising with. Dang, that's all right. Nah, I don't want that one. Ain't the one I want. I'll go to this one. Go to Psalm 81. I know that one's there. Go to Psalm 81 and I think it's 15. It's one in Deuteronomy. I forgot where it is though. 81:16.
81:16.
Yep. All right. So this is what the Lord intended for us to do. It's what we got to do. If we have wisdom, we can have this. Read.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 81 and verse 16. He should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat, and with honey out of the rock should I have satisfied thee.
So he's just letting know he would have gave us all that we desire. He would have gave us the finest wheat. He didn't say I'm gonna give you just regular wheat, the finest. Give you the best. He said even honey out of a rock. So what? I don't know what that sound. I ain't even had that before, but it sound good. I ain't gonna make people see next Friday. No time that honey out of a rock. Shit, there must be something. Shoot, he had water out of a rock. So, but
doing this one.
yeah. So we gotta. At the end of the day, like he was gonna give us the most. He's trying to let us live abundantly. But if we don't want to live abundantly, then we can't have it. You know what I'm saying? All we gonna do is be like, man, this ain't fair. We ain't got this, and that. Well, he wants to give us more. He desires to give us more. But we got to desire it. A true high value man is going to desire the most. They're not going to see when we saying we just want to be rich. We actually saying we just fine with scraps. Yeah, I'm fine. Just give me what just give me that. No, there's more than this. This ain't okay. Ain't we the best people on the planet? If we the best people on the planet, I deserve the best.
Most definitely.
So if we deserve the best, we gotta now start walking like give me Deuteronomy 28:13. You know what I'm saying? What's terribly happening is many of these men that say they like to claim high value really. Well, sorry, I'm what the Bible says.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 13. There we go. And the Lord shall make thee the head. I was just saying this in my head. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath.
So look, he said we should be above only, meaning we are made to be that. Like I was talking about the manufacturer. The manufacturer said, "You Israel, so-called black man, you are the strongest, smartest, best-looking thing I've ever created. Y'all are the gods of the earth, meaning y'all are supposed to rule. Y'all are not allowed to be everybody else. Yeah. If you try to be everybody else, you're dysfunctional. You are." It's another word I want.
You hate yourself.
Yeah, you hate yourself. Yes,
pretty much.
You're useless, unprofitable, and guess what you got to do with useless things? Cast them out. Cast them, and guess what you do with them when you get rid of them? Get rid of all of it. Burn them in the fire.
Burn it up.
Because it's useless. Can't do nothing with it. You know what I'm saying? Give me a Deuteronomy. Oh, if I read on.
Yep.
They should be the head, not the tail. Go ahead.
What's right here? If that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them.
And that's how you be. That's how you rule. If you want to be, you say you're a high value man. You want to be that. Well, part of it, the requirements are keeping the commandments, doing what God said to do. You cannot be like, oh, I'm a high value man, and you eating shrimp. So I'm like, yeah, I'm living good, eating lobster tail and shrimp. No, you ain't. You are actually a peasant. You are actually saying you're eating the worst and saying and turn into a cuisine. Like you've been mind effed.
Real time.
You have literally been brainwashed into believing that the trash of earth is good for you.
Man.
I mean, I'm telling you. 1 Corinthians 10:21.
1 Corinthians 10:21.
I said some of that. Got some of that honey. That's all right.
This is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 21. Ye cannot...
24.
24? Okay. Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth.
See, what we got to start doing on top of being the head, we got to start looking out for each other's wealth. So we look for our own wealth and then turn around and be like, yeah, I'm high value. No, we're high value selfish. You know what I'm saying? We're high level selfish. That's what we are. We said seek another man's wealth, meaning we should be trying to find out how we can help each other come up. How do we build up our nation? Build up our people. Psalm 73:3. Take this other thing. This is weak.
73. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 73, and verse 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked.
See, what happens is we see the wicked prospering, and we be like, because I used to be like, man, how come I can't have this? How come we can't get this? Da, 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 da. And we get envious of that. I did. I hated it. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, I was like, man, this is weak. Can't stand this. Go to verse 5.
Verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men.
You see, they don't go through hell like us. they getting, they getting all kinds of stuff. They got benefits. They got all this money. They got cars. They got all the women. They got everything. Like, man, how come they got all this stuff? This is weak. Go ahead.
Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain.
See, and then they full of pride. They actually believe they the greatest thing since sliced bread, even though they wicked as hell. They really got this belief in them. Jump to verse 8.
Verse 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression.
And now that's the main thing. See, when he said they speak wickedly concerning oppression, these ones that call themselves high value men, they say, oh, it ain't about what they do. The oppression ain't real. It's about you. You got to get it yourself. You got to do this. You got to do this. We can never overcome oppression and slavery until our oppressors are done.
Yeah.
Like, that's for one. You can't truly. All you're doing is saying, I'm cool being a slave. I'll be beneath you, but as long as I get some money for myself. What you really saying? What? And it's fine why they kill the rest of my people. I can have 12 and 13-year-old children get shot down the street, get no justice. But I'm a high value man. I'm living good. No, we got to destroy this. We got to take down the system according to God's word. According to God's word. Make sure I said that. Don't nobody go out here with torches and bombs blowing up no buildings and stuff. No, God's word. We cast down imaginations. What'd you have?
No, I was just thinking about this Red Bull commercial where the gazelle, it's two gazelles talking, and they like, you can't outrun a lion. He's like, I don't have to outrun a lion. I just gotta outrun you.
Yeah.
And, that's really a mind state that we, it's like, sure, as long as I'm doing better than you, I'm alright.
Crabs in a bucket.
Crabs.
Yeah, crabs in a bucket.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Not like, hey, let's take the lion out. Let's together get it. No. Look, I'm gonna outrun you. You get taken down, and you should have been faster. You know what I'm saying? Damn.
Yeah.
We gotta come another way.
Yeah, most definitely.
We do, but we seek our own wealth. Give me verse. Let's say 738.
Yep.
Verse 9. Go ahead.
Verse 9. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth.
Again, they speaking against God, because they're like, oh, we don't really need God. Are we good? We are. Ain't no oppression. Everything's going good for me. Everything's going strong. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. We really got that understanding. We really believe that. The thing is, we have no idea that we are completely going against what God says. Verse 12.
Verse 12. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches.
See, these fake high value men, they prosper in this world, meaning within this world, within the wicked system. They don't really look to take over the system. They're like, nah, I'm cool with this system. I want to prosper in this. Mm-hmm. That's what they want. The ungodly are like that. The godly see this stuff and they sigh and cry for the abominations. A true high value man ain't gonna take this. We're not gonna sit back and watch this. A true high value man got wisdom enough to know that this is bad for my people. This is terrible for my people. Everything they set up is to cause, like, because a lot of these, they talk about things going on in the manosphere, but there's no accountability. They're not talking about, well, our women are so jacked up and out of order because they've been brainwashed to, in the system that's set up to have them lead, to have them win, to have the women over us, and then to have the men, have the boys starting from school. They start from school in the system, school, you as a boy, you was an athlete, so you probably hated just as a kid, sitting in school all the time. School is not a system for us. It is not. Got all this energy. You want to get up and play. Like, recess was the best time of the day.
Man.
Couldn't wait till recess. Because you just sitting there all day and can't move, and, and then they be like, man, yeah, boy, something's wrong with him. Oh, shit, he's 7 years old. He's ready to run around and climb trees and stuff. Dang, of course he... And then they say something's wrong with us, and now the system is set up for us to fail. It's set up to destroy the mindset of a boy and be like, oh, and then what do they say? Why can't you be more like her? Mm-hmm. Why can't you be? Because girls do good in school. You know what I'm saying? I know my sister says that grade's better than mine. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know what I'm saying? I could if I apply, but it's hard to apply because we're not really dialed in a lot of time to school. Of course, we got some dudes that get straight A's and stuff, but most of the time we ain't dialed in. We get dialed in when we see an incentive. You know what I'm saying? I remember I got my dopest report card was like, yeah, if you get good grades here, we'll get you Mortal Kombat. Oh shoot, my grades was dope that 6 weeks. I had Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 on Super Nintendo. All was hype. Yeah, I still remember 6th grade because I had incentive. I had a reason to do it. But most of the time, we're not motivated because the system's not set up for us. The system's set up for women to, overtake us. And then we like wonder why the women act like they do, why they're masculine and have the authority because it's set up for that. So we need to we have to understand that the system is trying to destroy our people. So let's stop being okay and operating within a system that's against us. A high value man is going to stand up and be like, nah, this is some BS. This ain't working. But the ungodly prosper in this world. They speak loftily against oppression. They like, oppression don't exist. It's all on you. Really?
Yeah.
So I guess that's why I'm the last hired and first fired. Guess that's why, they got all these Planned Parenthood sitting out. All this stuff is set up to destroy us as a people.
Why they telling our baby girls they can't wear their natural hair and all kinds of little stuff. We gotta, shave off all of our natural look just to fit into their system. It's shave your beard and look like a little boy.
Yeah. Or clothes for 9-10-year-old girls. Why do they have booty shorts for little girls?
Man,
they're training up hoes. And then they training up little boys to be whoremongers, and then we wonder why people, having sex and all stuff at younger ages, and then women are destroyed and can't have a functional relationship because as children they was messed up, and they on top of that their parents was messed up. Their parents was like young when they had them and didn't really teach them right. Like it's all set up to destroy your people. But you talking about I got money though. Like people really think as long as he got money, then he's fine. He's providing. No, being a man takes way more than that. Let's go. Before I go too long into that, because that whole thing is just crazy to me. Like it's the most people that just on the high value man thing. A lot of times think high value man is just a money thing, and then you wonder why. It's really what happens is you get high value coons. That's what a lot of them are. That's what most of them are. They really just be cooning. Whenever somebody talk about it, really oppression don't really affect us. I'm like, yeah, you are completely a house nigga. Like, straight up. Psalm 73 and 18. Now, here's the thing. Here's what goes on with them. In fact, go to verse 17 first.
Verse 17. Until I went into the sanctuary of God, then I understood I therein.
So once we came into the faith, the truth, then it's like, I was envious of these people, but you know what? God needed these people to be lost like this. Oh, shoot. Because a real high value man is gonna be like, man, what's going on? He's gonna actually come into the truth. That real high value man, because he got wisdom. Read on.
Verse 18. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction.
So he set people with that mentality to be selfish. Oh, he's like, all right, well, go ahead. Go. He leaves you to your own ruin. Set you, or AKA set you up in a slippery place. He set you up to fall and destroy yourself. Verse 22.
Verse 22. So foolish was I and ignorant. I was a beast before thee.
You see, we operated as animals. When we was foolish and we was envious of the wicked, it's because we wanted to live, we wanted to survive like everybody else. Then once we got wise, we're like, oh wait, it's foolish to just survive. We better than surviving. Because that means we got to operate in this. Remember, we have dominion over the beasts. Mm-hmm. We have dominion over the animals. Just, that'd be like a dog. We have a dog. He's like, yeah, man, our dog would be happy because he gets all the kibbles and bits and all the bacon, and we might even give him real table food. He might have a whole yard with no chain to roam around in.
Belly rubs.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, he's still a dog owned by me. Yeah. He has what I give him. You know what I'm saying? That's a beast. We're not supposed to be the beast. We're not supposed to be owned by nobody but the Most High. The Most High gave us the earth to roam around in. He gave us all of this. This is ours. We have dominion over them. We done let them flip it where we the dogs and they're the owners.
Most definitely. I was talking with somebody the other day. I was like, think of the dog analogy. A dog has puppies. You separate you feel me? Like once they up at age, you separate them, put a chain on their neck, put them in captivity, and now you destroyed their mind to where they depend on you for food, water, and everything. Mm-hmm. Just like the curses, Yeah.
Exactly what happened.
Just like the curses, man.
Yeah. And it's a perpetual thing. Because that's how the heathen are supposed to be. Uh-huh. They're supposed to have children that belong to us and our children. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to belong to us. But it's flipped. Give me where was I going to? Give me Matthew 6:33.
Let them off the chain. They don't go nowhere.
Hey, man. Hey, that's basically Deuteronomy 28 when he said, When I remove the yoke from thy neck and destroy thee. Yeah.
Yep.
We don't go nowhere. And that's what it is. So the truth is, nothing is more important than having the ability to judge between right and wrong. You know what I'm saying?
What do you want me to pull up?
Matthew 6:33.
Matthew 6.
We got to know that there's nothing more important than that. You know what I'm saying? We think, and that's why I had to go to Psalm 73. I kind of went into more scriptures than I wanted to.
Yeah.
We got to understand that judging between knowing right and wrong is what makes you high value. You know what I'm saying? Having the wisdom to be able to, you know, when you see something going on and you like, yeah, that's not cool. And then you can actually, you know, separate, all right, here, this person, hey, that's not cool what you did. Oh, you don't like that I'm telling you and doing that? You gonna still do that? Cool. Get away from me. You know what I'm saying? When you can divide right and wrong, that's when you got that judgment. That's when your wisdom grows more and more and more. That's even why, and I ain't released it yet on the third step of the repentance plan, judgment. Judgment is when it's really going to separate the men from the boys. You know what I'm saying? The true understanding from the, and again, it takes a while, but we are to know judgment. God wants to build up our judgment, our understanding. Matthew 6:33.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness.
Hold on, seek ye first what?
The kingdom of God and his righteousness.
Seek ye first $100,000 a year?
The kingdom of God and his righteousness.
Seek the kingdom. Go in the direction of the Lord's everlasting rest. All right? And his righteousness. Meaning his righteousness is what he determines to be right and wrong. The law, statutes, and commandments. Seek judgment. Go ahead.
And all these things shall be added unto you.
See, a true high value man will understand, like, oh, shoot. So if I do this, then I'll have everything else. But we got to walk in that. We don't understand that. Give me 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 5. You know what I'm saying? He says, seek that first. Hey, grace and peace, Sister Shael. Shalom, shalom. Happy Sabbath. Kenaniah, what's going on, bro? Grace and peace be with you. Happy Sabbath. Sister Mika, shalom, shalom. I see y'all just joining.
Okay.
What's going on? Hey, by the way, you share the class of your own. Yep. 1 Kings 3 and 5.
This is the book of 1 Kings chapter 3 and verse 5.
Hold on, before I get into it. Remember, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything will be added. Now, is that true? Let's see. Read that.
Verse
5.
Okay, verse 5. And Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night. And God said, ask what I shall give thee.
All right, so he said, hey, God's like, hey, all right, Solomon, what do you want? So he's basically like, he's basically like a genie. Hey, what's your wish? All right, jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad.
You see, so Solomon could have had anything in the world. Anything. Like God literally said, you got whatever you want. And he said, let me know how I can decide what's right and wrong. I want to be able to tell he didn't say nothing. He said, help me understand right and wrong. Help me better. He knew the laws and commandments. He was raised in it, but he said, I want to be able to judge right and wrong. I want to actually be able to see these things. All right, go ahead.
For who is able to judge this, thy so great a people?
So he wanted to be able to, so when it comes to being king, he's going to be ruler. He's like, hey, I got to make sure I'm making the right decisions, because if I don't know right and wrong, I'm going to I might make some judgments that actually destroy people's lives. He cared about his people. Verse 10.
And the speech pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this thing.
So the Lord, the creator of all things said, hey, the one that manufactured Solomon was like, I like the way you think. I like the way you move. You know what I'm saying? I like that. So you know what? That's a good thing. Let's see what the Most High did. Verse 11.
And God said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked riches for thyself, nor hast asked the life of thine enemies, but hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment.
You said, so since you asked for understanding to be able to tell what's right and wrong, I am pleased with that. That is, like I said, nothing's more important than to being able to have the ability to judge right and wrong. Nothing more important than that. That's why he says, seek ye first the kingdom of God. And then he says this right here, verse 13.
Verse 13. And I have also given thee that
which thou
hast not asked.
He said, I'm also giving you something that you didn't ask for. Read.
Both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days.
So he said all these things will be added unto you.
Yeah.
The Lord, it looks like that's true.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, you did. Here you go. Get all of that." You know why? He said, "Because you a high value man. A high value man wants to be able to discern right and wrong. High value man wants wisdom. They want understanding. They want to be able to discern judgment." Luke 11:31. This is what the high value men. This is how they move. This is how they live. This is what's going on. It's true high value man. They be like, "Oh, just give me riches." That's what he could have said. "Oh yeah, give me riches so I can be a high value man." Nah, he said, let me discern right and wrong."
This is the book of Luke, chapter 11 and verse 31. The queen of the south shall rise up in judgment with the men of this generation and condemn them.
Read.
For she came from the utmost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon.
So she came from all the way on the other side to hear what Solomon had to say. This dude was so high value that she came all the way. that just understand. They didn't say she didn't come to see. She didn't come to see him because she saw an episode of MTV Cribs and she saw his diamond doorknob. Yeah. She didn't see his mirrors in the ceiling with rubies in them. It was like, "Ooh, I want to see that," because that dude's a high value man. She said, "I want to hear his wisdom." We got people in the truth that don't even want to hear the wisdom from. Man, go ahead, read on, man.
And behold, a greater than Solomon is here.
He said a greater than Solomon is here. So go ahead, give me 2 Chronicles. Is it more on that scripture? Is that it? All right, give me 2 Chronicles chapter 9, verse 2. So he said that's how much value this dude had. Now let me see what he's talking about. She came all the way from the other parts of the earth, and I'm giving you an example of. We're gonna see how valuable wisdom is. How valuable, being able to tell right and wrong in judgment. Because if you can tell right and wrong, then you're also going to understand other things. See, a lot of people want to understand the deep things in the Bible that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but they don't really want to know. They don't want to understand the commandments enough, what God actually is pleased with and what He's not. That should be our focus. We learn what God's pleased with, He'll give us everything else. He'll give us more of, why this happened here in the history, or what He meant in this allegory here. And, He's going to start telling us. But we got to understand right and wrong. We understand right and wrong. Other things will be easy to see. Oh, okay, yeah, I see that. Because you understand right and wrong. You have judgment. Go ahead.
This is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 9 and verse 2. And Solomon told her all her questions. And there was nothing hid from Solomon which he told her not.
Now, this is the queen of the south. I'm going. You go to verse 1. It says queen of the south, which was Queen Sheba. She came and he told her everything. So she asked him all his questions, and he was just shooting off answers. And he was hitting them with the answers. He was able to give her exactly what she needed. Give me verse 5.
Verse 5. And she said to the king, "It was a true report which I heard in mine own land of thine acts and of thy wisdom."
So he said, "Hey, I heard how brilliant you was," and they wasn't capping, as they would say. There was no cap on that at all. Go ahead, verse 6.
Verse 6. Howbeit I believed not their words, until I came and mine eyes had seen it. And behold, the one half of the greatness of thy wisdom was not told me.
So he said, I ain't even heard she said, I ain't heard the half of it. You know how they say the expression, I ain't heard the half of it? Mm-hmm. She said, I ain't heard the half of it. You're more understanding and wise than I could even imagine. Go ahead.
For thou exceedest the fame that I heard.
Go ahead.
Happy are thy men, and happy are these thy servants.
Then she said, now, the people that's around you, she said, they gotta be so glad to have you in their presence. Read.
Which stand continually before thee, and hear thy wisdom.
The people that always can hear you, they better. And here's the thing that's funny too. A lot of times, she's saying that happy are these people, but a lot of times they'll have that wisdom around them, because we know what happened with Christ. People had the ability to hear from Christ, and they was not glad that He was around them to be able to build them up and teach them. The disciples, obviously, but people don't appreciate. They don't be appreciating it. And that's why Christ even said it. He said, a greater than Solomon is here. She came from way the hell across the other side of the dang old planet to hear the wisdom of Solomon. But I'm right here, and y'all ain't even appreciating it. Y'all unthankful. Y'all foolish. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to put that in perspective. But she said, happy are your servants who get to hear this all the time. They just think, man, she's like, man, they so blessed. Go to verse 9.
Verse 9. And she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and of spices, great abundance, and precious stones. Neither was there any such spice as the Queen of Sheba gave King Solomon.
So, all right, give me Matthew 13:43. So it says she gave him 120. So basically, she just poured all these gifts on him. He had all this. Think about it. Solomon already had all this bread. He had big paper, but she's like, here, man, this wisdom you got is better than all that. Here, take this. After he answered all them questions, she's like, here, take. You know what I'm saying? She gave 120 talents of gold, spices, and it said in abundance. Life more abundantly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Life more abundantly, all because you got the wisdom. You have the understanding. You got the juice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta walk in that wisdom. We gotta seek that out. We want to be high value men. High value men have understanding. They seeking out the kingdom of God. They seeking out his understanding. They not seeking out. It says go not after. Well, matter of fact, I ain't read that yet. Let me read this real quick. I'm gonna read Ecclesiastes. Why I gives you? Read Ecclesiastes 31. Watch this. 31 and where is it at? 5. Nope. Damn. No man, don't even worry about it. I'll come to it later. I forgot where it was. There's one that says go not after gold. I cannot find it. That's all right. I'll find it later. Anyway, scripture says go not after gold. I forgot where it is. But a lot of people, what they do is what they do. They seeking out that. Actually, it might be in my scripts. That's all right. We get to it later. Matthew 13:43.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 43. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who have ears to hear, let them hear.
Okay, so he says, then shall the righteous... Oh, wait, my bad. Did I say 13:43? Yeah, that is not... No, oh, my bad. I did not want that. I wanted 46.
46.
Let me see. Hold on. Again, the kingdom of heaven. I wanted 45. 45. My bad.
Verse 45.
Yeah, bear with me, Israel.
Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls.
All right, so now I said the kingdom of heaven is like that merchant looking for pearls. Now I'm going to this for a reason. Now pearls we know are very expensive. They're very valuable, right? Read.
Who, when we had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it.
You see, and that's what the kingdom of heaven is like. That's what we got to be. When we come into the truth, we got to be willing to lose it all, trade it all for this wisdom. That's how it was. The queen of the south, she was able to trade it all. See, like, here, man, you can take all this stuff. Shoot, you gave me all this wisdom. Shoot, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we got to look at it. We got to understand that he gave us all of these things. Oh, it's 8 verse. Chapter 8 of verse 8. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that is it. That's it. I'm going to read that. Ecclesiastes 31 and 8. It's another one, too, that says something else, but I'm going to read that because I was talking about something earlier as far as being high value. Ecclesiastes 31 and 8. Blessed is the rich that is found without blemish and hath not gone after gold. So he's saying, again, you can get rich, but you're not seeking that first. You know, Solomon sought out wisdom, and then he got gold. He was blessed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was blessed. Same thing with this man. This man was like, I will trade everything in for wisdom. He said, whatever. I don't care about it. I want the understanding. I want the kingdom of heaven. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. A true high value man is like, give me the world. You seeking the kingdom of God, you actually seeking to rule the world. You want everything. You're not asking to be a slave to wicked people. Who would want to be a servant to wicked people? I don't know, because I think about it. How much you thought about how you hate your jobs because you're around like the people that's over you, like they don't give a damn about Sabbath. They like trying to make you work on Sabbath if they could. They don't care about none of that stuff. They like no. You know what I'm saying? They will give you pork if they could. These people hate God. Like they have their uniforms have mixed fabrics. You know what I'm saying? They just a bunch of goofy stuff. And it's like, I want the kingdom. I don't want to work for you and get a lot of money. No, I want to take this whole thing. Give me everything. That's what a high value man is looking. They looking past that. I'm not looking to be on the team. I'm looking to own the team. That's what we got to be. What was I looking for? I forgot the script I was thinking of. Job 28:12. Job 28:12. He said we got to, like I said, that man that had the pearls.
This is the book of Job, chapter 28 and verse 12. But where shall wisdom be found? And where is the place of understanding?
You see, That's the thing. See, it's so valuable. He said, "Hey, where can we find this stuff at?" You know what I'm saying? You know, people go like we was talking about the other. We was talking about shaking the stuff for the gold, or you actually like you know what I'm saying. You're looking for diamonds. You know, they got the diamond mines. They got all this stuff, rubies. It's like, man, where can we find wisdom at? Give me verse 19.
Verse 19. The topaz of Ethiopia shall not equal to it. Shall not equal it. Neither shall it be valued with pure gold.
See, topaz. Now, hold on. I'm gonna pull up topaz real quick because let me see if we got something that explains it. All right. It says the topaz of Ethiopia is not equal to it. I'm gonna read something about it. It says topaz is a stone of nobility, love, passion, and purpose. You know what I'm saying? So the main thing I want to get is it's a stone of nobility, meaning the people in power get it, because meaning it's not everywhere. It's not frequented. It's not frequent. It's another word I won't. It's not abundant.
Yeah.
It's a rare stone. So he said the topaz of Ethiopia ain't even compared to it. And then he says, neither shall it be valued with pure gold, meaning gold doesn't even stack up to it. But we got all these people saying I'm high value. Well, what's more valuable than wisdom? If you don't have the wisdom of God, how can you call yourself high value? It don't make sense. It doesn't add up. You're actually saying what you're really saying is you value the devil. You value Satan's kingdom. You don't value anything else. You don't value wisdom, because wisdom is like, no. You know what I'm saying? Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. I mean, Ecclesiastes in the Bible. I'm sorry, 7 and 12. And here's the thing. We got to understand, too. As being a high-value man, a lot of women seek high-value men. Women want security. We understand that. Women want security. Sisters, y'all want security? Y'all got to seek a high-value man. And I'm talking about a true high-value man. I ain't talking about that. If you want sister this, oh, well, yeah, long he's a great provider. He gives me money. Yeah, okay, well, all right. If that's all you want, cool. Then don't complain about nothing, because that's what you want. But look at this here. You want security? Read that.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
So, yes, he says money's a defense too, but then he reiterates after that, though, but wisdom gives life. So, but the point is, when you're talking about security, wisdom is a defense. Defense is what secures you. It protects you. So you need wisdom to protect you. Well, you got to have a man of wisdom to protect you, to guard you, to be that protection for you, which is that hedge. That hedge of protection has got to be wisdom. If your hedge of protection is money instead of understanding, then it's gonna, like you said, moth and flames corrupt. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take it away. Thieves can steal it. Can't nobody steal your wisdom. If you got wisdom, can't nobody take it from you. It's there. Give me what was I gonna say? No, I lost my thought. Hebrews 13:9. Hebrews 13:9. We gotta have, like I said, you want that security. You know what I'm saying? You want that security. Well, here is how you do it. Here is how you make sure you protect it. Read that.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 9. Be not carried about with divers and strange doctrines. For it is a good thing that the heart be established with grace.
That the heart be what?
Be established with grace.
The heart is established. It's secure. It's where it is. Go ahead.
Not with meats, which have not profited them that have been occupied therein.
So, now, what he's saying is don't get caught up in anything you can be taught. If you ain't got no security and no wisdom, somebody's going to tell you something, and you're going to just fly away with whatever you told. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let's get Job 2 and 9. You got to have a secure foundation in the truth and in morality. If you don't have a secure foundation in right and wrong, then somebody's going to be able to tell you something that's wrong and make it sound good. You know what I'm saying? We know that because that's what the serpent did in the garden. He came up and was like, hey, girl, you can make things sound good that's wrong. I know that because we all been in the world. We all justified our wickedness before. You try to make wrong sound right. Well, if somebody's better at it, if they got more charisma or they got, smoother talker, they're going to be able to do it. That's why he says don't be carried away with diverse doctrines. If you secure in your, what did he say? Rooted. You foundation. You got that foundation in the laws and the commandments, you're going to be straight. Go ahead. You read that.
This is the book of Job, chapter 2 and verse 9. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die.
You see, Now, what's going to happen a lot of times, I'm going to tell y'all brothers, you want to be a high value man, your wife is always going to tell you to curse God and die. They will not say it straight up. They're going to tell you that in other ways. They're going to try to say something because they're going to be in their emotions at a certain point, and they're going to tell you something that's against God. Read.
But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips.
So what you got to do, if you're a high value man, here's the thing, because you got to understand, women will be swayed from time to time. Every sister, one of my things I like to say is they all get hacked by the devil. They gonna get hacked at some point. Satan's gonna hack them, and they gonna just jump. They gonna be in their mind, and they gonna think what they think is right. And you're going to be explaining to them, and they're going to be fully convinced that they good. But they might come back like a day or two later and be like, they either like they didn't remember what they said, or they'll be like, dang, I was tripping. Because their emotions take over. The devil has control, he done hacked them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going on. They get hacked by Satan. It's going to happen. Why? Matter of fact, get this real quick. Ecclesiastes 42:13. And I'm saying this for this reason. Men, if you're a high value man, you got to be like Job. Check. You got to constantly check. You're going to have to check. If you got a daughter, you got to check her constantly. You got a wife, you got to check her constantly. Why? Because they're going to get hacked. And you got to be like, nope, get back over there. You tripping. You got to check them. But a lot of men are afraid to check their women, and that's why they also act like they do. We'll get to that later, though. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 42 and verse 13. For from garments cometh a moth, and from women wickedness.
Now, is this me reading this to bash women? No, this is me reading it because when a high value man understands the woman's nature. You got to understand the woman's nature. The woman is liable, again, if she's the weaker vessel. A lot of men use that she's the weaker vessel, this, and that. But they don't really use it and understand that, oh, that's her nature. God created her that way. You know what I'm saying? So it's my job to be stronger, to make sure, for one, I have more patience with her. But I'm also like, I understand that I got to check her regularly. The wickedness is coming out. Nope, stop, shut it down. You sound like the foolish woman. Which basically saying, you sound stupid right now. That sounds dumb. That's stupid. No, don't say that. That don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And guess what's going to happen at the time? They're not going to like it. They're going to be mad at you. And you got to be willing to deal with that. And if you can't deal with that, you're not a high value man. You a simp. A lot of times, what happens is the simp brothers will sit there and be quiet. And they're going to just let her make her happy. You know, she'll be like, you know what? It doesn't say we can't have a Christmas wreath in the house. So we should get a wreath. And he knows she's going to get mad. So he's going to be like, okay. You know, Eddie Murphy, okay. She's going to put the wreath up in the house. And you know what I'm saying? It's just like, dang. Oh my gosh, you're supposed to check her. That was her curse God and die moment. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look. We get an Easter basket. There ain't no scripture against the Easter basket. You curse God and die. You have to check them. They're going to, and then some days it will be as extreme as that, but it'll be little things where you notice against the scripture or against the wisdom of God, and you're like, no, we're not doing that. That's what a high value man's gonna do. He's gonna regularly check her. Joshua 23:6. See, them scriptures talking about the wickedness that's in a woman is all about understanding how they move. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I will say that's good about like some of the stuff that a lot of these, you know, like I say, your content creators, your Kevin Samuels people, your different the little podcasts, Fresh and Fit, all these people, they speak on the woman's nature, which be correct. It's just they just off. They have no wisdom. You know what I'm saying? They don't have God's wisdom. Most of all, they just wicked and don't want to keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why they'll focus on, just get money and smash hoes. Like, come on, like for real. There's more to life than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And even if you do, it's just more than that. These aren't high value men. They going against the scriptures. Go ahead.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 23 and verse.
And here's what a high value man would do with his wife. Read.
Did you say 6?
Yep, 23:6. Yeah.
Verse 6. Be ye therefore very courageous to keep and to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, that ye turn not aside therefrom to the right hand or to the left.
You see, you got to be courageous. If you got courage is meaning you facing your fear. You stand in the face of fear and you're going to make a decision. You know what a lot of men are fearful of? They're fearful that their woman will leave them. Like, if you got courage, you're gonna be like, oh dang, I don't want this to happen, but you know what? I gotta stick with this. I'm not turning to the right hand or to the left. You're not telling me to curse God and die. No, you sound foolish right now. You speaking against the Bible. You got the devil on you. You gotta say that. You can't. And a lot of men are scared they're gonna lose their woman. Stop being scared. Stop being a simp. Stop being weak, and just be like, boom. Like, here's what it is. This is what we doing. And you gotta be in a point where you like, all right, if you leave, you leave. You know, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because a high value man understands he understands he has value. He actually understands that if he's a man of God, he's a man of the Lord, and he really got that value, and he got that confidence, he know what's up. He knows that, at any moment, if he's really walking this walk, there's plenty of sisters is looking for a man like him. So he's not worried. Oh, you want to leave? Cool. You want to do that? That's foolish. But don't say curse God and die. Because if you tell me curse God and die, I'm going to tell you, no, you tripping. I'm not turning from the Lord to the right hand or to the left. You got to have courage. Got to be strong. You got to be willing to stand for the Lord no matter what. And that fear is you're going to maybe lose loved ones. There's also because, and I say it's an effeminate spirit because here's why when men be afraid, a lot of men don't come into the truth because of that. Matter of fact, watch this. Revelation 14. There's a lot of brothers don't come into the truth because they woman don't let them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you. A lot of times they woman be running them. They scared. 14 and 4.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 4. These are they which were not defiled with women.
They were what?
Not defiled with women.
These men, these high value men, that is one of 144,000. There's no higher value than that. They are not defiled with women. They not simps. Read.
For they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb.
You see, these stay on the path. Give me Luke 16 and 10. He said, these men right here, they follow the Lamb wherever he goes. So, which means they don't stop and wait for their woman, and they don't go back with their woman. They follow the Lamb. If their woman don't follow, then bye. Guess what? If she stops following him, and other women see that high value man by himself following Christ, she be like, oh shit, I'm getting with you. She gonna jump on the bandwagon. She gonna, man, how are you by yourself? You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, let me get in there. That's what's gonna happen. And that's why it's best for men to focus on building themselves up, being the best man they can be of servant of God. A lot of men are trying to, and that's how you know the overwhelming majority of these Negroes in the truth are freaking clowns. They really just looking for a woman to lay with. They are not even interested in becoming the best version of themselves. They're not even interested in growing and building themselves up in the truth. They just want somebody to sleep with. That's it. These dudes are clowns. They're not really trying to get strong in the truth. But that's why you see their understanding be on a base level. They don't know nothing. Because all they doing is worry about getting with a girl. You know what I'm saying? You're not following a lamb, you're following a woman. And at the end of the day, she's going up running you. She gonna be, or you're gonna try to use scriptures like, oh yeah, here, you gotta listen to me. She gonna be like, man, nigga, I know you weak. Shut up. She might say shut up and backhand you. Get out my face. I'm telling you, so we gotta, as a man, we gotta become the best us. We gotta get stronger and become men of the Lord. And then along the way, the more we follow Christ, then the women would join. It said 7 women joined 1 man. They're gonna join to that. They're like, let me get over here. This is where I need to go. Give me Luke 11:31. You already there? Hold on, what I say?
16 and 10.
16. Yeah, my bad. I did say Luke 16 and 10. Something I was thinking about. Yep, that's it. I want that.
Okay, this is the book of Luke, chapter 16 and verse 10. He that is faithful in that which is least, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much, and he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much.
See, being high value, we don't have nothing, and that's why I said too, we got to realize that we are the man regardless. It don't matter what we got, no matter where we at, we gotta be like, I'm that dude. And on top of being that dude, we got to be faithful with nothing. God, that's what happened with Job. God took everything from Job. He said, I bet he's still going to be faithful even though he ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? And God's like, oh, cool, take it. Because at the end of the day, God understands this. If you don't got nothing, if you ain't going to listen, you really going to listen if you got a lot. Why would I give you the abundance? Verse 11, watch this.
Verse 11. If therefore ye have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches.
See, who's gonna give true riches to this dude? This dude, he's not disciplined enough. The Lord needs disciplined men. Matter of fact, let's get that. Ecclesiastes 32 and 14. Lord needs disciplined men. If you ain't disciplined and you ain't gonna stick to the scriptures, you ain't gonna stick to the laws and commandments. And of course, there's gonna be times where the only exceptions come in is when it's grace and mercy, which is understanding. But this understanding and mercy is for those that actually trying. They're not trying, you don't know. That grace ain't for them. But people you gotta still let them know, hey, I understand where you're coming from, but that was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 32 and verse 15. He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith.
Oh, sorry, start at 14.
Verse 14. Whoso feareth the Lord will receive his discipline, and they that seek him early shall find favor.
You see, we want to receive his discipline. We got to be disciplined. There's no way you can be a high value man and not be disciplined. You got to be, and if you're disciplined, then if you do have a lot, if you have abundance, then you're going to carry yourself right. He says that fear of the Lord, you get that, who fears the Lord is going to receive that discipline. You got to receive it. Verse 15.
He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith.
See, if you're trying to learn more about the commandments, you're trying to understand what's right and wrong, you're going to be given the answers to what's right and wrong. Watch this though. Read.
But the hypocrite will be offended thereat.
Now other people are against God, so they're gonna be offended that you're talking about the law, statutes, commandments. They're gonna try to go into something else. You know what? No, that's not right. We gotta talk about love. Well, love is keeping the laws. Let's talk about the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the commandments. You know what I'm saying? It's the word of God. You know what I'm saying? We gotta talk about feelings. Where is that in the Bible? You know what I'm saying? So they're offended. That's why they won't be filled with the discipline. They're offended. Those aren't high value men. Those are low value women. That's what those are. Those are not that. Those are emotional girls. That's what we gotta be on that. We gotta walk with the Most High God and His law, statutes, commandments. We get too caught up on stuff that really ain't that important. So we must stay on the path. And if we can't serve God with nothing, or with the he says the unrighteous mammon, like he said in Luke 16. Mm-hmm. If we can't serve God with this, nothing, or the little money they throwing us that ain't really good for us. I mean, that we have to conform to them to get. He said, oh, how can we give us the true inheritance? Because we are written in God's will. And this is God's will right here. This is literally His will as far as what we want us to do, and His will as far as like the inheritance. Mm. So once the earth is passed over, He's like, all right, here, y'all, it goes to y'all. You know how people be sitting at the wheel reading, they like waiting to get who gets the house. You know, all the siblings is there. God's like, oh, look, this is for y'all. For whoever keeps the commandments, this is given. This is for you. This is for you. All right? We're written in the will, but we can't receive the inheritance if we can't even be faithful in least. He says, be faithful to me while you have nothing, and then you can get the abundance of all things. Ephesians 1:17. High value men understand what needed to be done. They understand we understand that our. You know what? I forgot all about. Oh, it's a script I missed. Sorry, I'll get back to it. Go ahead, read that.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 1 and verse 17. That the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation and the knowledge of Him.
See, we want the spirit of wisdom. We want the wisdom. That's how you get that at high value, okay? And he says, matter of fact, verse 18. I'm going to let it say it. Go ahead.
Verse 18. The eyes of your understanding being enlightened.
See, when you get that wisdom and knowledge, your understanding grows. You understand what is right and wrong. You have discernment. Come on.
That ye may know what is the hope of His calling, and what the riches of the glory of His inheritance in the saints.
You see that? The riches of His glory, right there. The inheritance is supposed to be passed down to us. That's what he's talking about. All his glory and stuff is meant for us. But we can't get the riches of that glory if we don't walk according to how He told us to walk. And to become that high value man, you got to actually have understanding. Who is going to have more wisdom and understanding than the manufacturer of the people? We take an understanding of wisdom from the manufacturer of our slavery. And that's what we actually believe. The manufacturers of our slavery know more than the manufacturer of who created us. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Give me Proverbs 15:31. It's crazy. we gotta, and that's why he tells us to do these laws, statutes, and commandments, because we gotta stay in position. We gotta stay in. If we don't do what he's telling us to do with her, we ain't gonna receive the inheritance. He's going to disown us. You know what I'm saying? The Lord would disown us for not being in this walk. Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 31. The ear that heareth the reproof of life abideth among the wise.
You see that? So the ear to hear, whoever's listening to the teaching that brings life, which is the understanding of God, you're gonna live among the wise. You want to live among the wise. You want to be around those people. Why would you want to be anywhere else besides where the wise are? You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be where the wild things are. You want to be where the wise people are. Be where they are, because where the wise people are, they have something. They're going to help you grow in discernment. But a lot of people like to be around the foolish people and then wonder why they never grow. Wonder why they stay at a base level. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Give me 1 Corinthians 2 and 9. Matter of fact, hold on, wait. Before you go there, because I thought it was something I thought about. I can't believe I didn't pull this scripture. I'm sorry. I can't believe I did this high value man class and did not pull this scripture. Give me Proverbs chapter 8, verse 11. I'm sorry. I was talking about all this high value man and all this because again, like everybody knows about Kevin Samuels. By the way, I ain't did a little post on that because I'm going to ask people why ask women why they hate him, which I know why most of them do, but I just want to hear what they're gonna say. This is gonna be interesting, huh? Proverbs 8:11.
Why they hate what?
Why they hate Kevin Samuels? Yeah. So because he talked, like he said, about the high value man, the women all like want to get with a high value man and all this stuff, and so there's ways he's helped a lot of people he's helped, and then there's a lot of people, well, more so helping their mindset as far as being cooperative with men, because you know a lot of our women are terribly uncooperative with men, but he's not helping as far as like it was one little thing. I'm sorry, sidebar real quick. He told one woman, he said you need to, and this was the dumbest ish I've ever heard in my life. He said, "Oh yeah, what do you mean you celibate? You 37 and celibate? Man, you need to be giving that stuff away." Nigga, what? Shut the, like I was like, what? I mean, and again, but he has no wisdom, and I gotta understand that. Because you have no wisdom, you're going to tell people dumb stuff like that. And then, but all the while, you're going to talk to other sisters talking about your stuff is being used more and more.
Yeah.
So you're going to tell this woman to use her stuff and add to her body count. But then you're going to be like, give it away to somebody else. See, you're going to contradict yourself because you have no standard of right and wrong. You don't know the difference between right and wrong because you lack wisdom. You have no understanding. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it boils down to. If he had understanding, he wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? But you only get understanding. The good understanding have they that do the commandments. Mm-hmm. So Proverbs 8:13. I'm sorry. Here's what a high value man is. Not somebody who makes $100,000 a year for 5 years. No, that is not what a high value man is. This it is. Read that.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse 11.
I'm sorry. Matter of fact, start at 10. My bad. It gets better. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Receive my instruction and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold.
So first of all, right now, at the park, wisdom or understanding, knowing the laws, having discernment is better than having money. That's straight up right there. From the manufacturer. Read.
For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it.
So everything that we love don't even stack up to it. Ain't even in the same ballpark. You know what I'm saying? So I should have kind of went here early. So wisdom is better than anything. Nothing, you know what I'm saying, what's the word? Leapfrogs it, supersedes it, usurps it. It's another word I won't, but I'll think of it. Nothing's better than wisdom. Just bottom line. Now 1 Corinthians 2 and 9. Because he Brother Quill read Proverbs 15:31, where he was saying that the ear of the reproof, the ear that hears reproof abides among the wise. Here's why you want to abide among the wise as well. You want to stay within the confines of understanding. You know what I'm saying? You want to get inheritance, you got to stay within the rules and regulations God set forth for us. Because if you stay within the rules and regulations, 1 Corinthians 2 and 9. Read that.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him.
See, God has all of this stuff. We talk about being high value. We got to forget $100,000 over the course of 5 years. How about so much that we can't even count for eternity? There's no higher value than that. What woman would not be like, you know what? I'm going to get on board with this. Let me find this man that actually believes his laws and keeps the commandments. I'm gonna follow him to the ends of the earth because he's gonna get me eternity of being pampered, an eternity of it where my feet ain't gonna touch the ground. Like you said, he said their foot wouldn't even peradventure touch the soul. Their soul wouldn't touch the ground. Let me get an eternity. You know what? You remember the little cartoons where they had the 4 people carrying the little woman, and you got somebody feeding them grapes, feeding them grapes. Look, sisters, you want to be fed grapes? Find a half value man, somebody that got wisdom, they got understanding, the knowledge, that loves the Most High God. He's gonna get you that eternity of what he said is the things that God prepared for us. We have no idea how much he got for us. He said we ain't even heard it, can't even think of, we can't imagine how much he got for us. And it's not over the course of 5 years. It ain't no 5 years of $100,000. It's an eternity of $100,000. I don't even think that probably worth less than a half a penny according to what he's gonna be giving us. You're like, oh, what's that mean? That's nothing. We got forever generational wealth. 2nd Ezra 7:6. We have no idea what he got laid for us, and we gotta see the importance of it. And we gotta seek it out. You know what I'm saying? And we almost done. We about at the end. Actually, I got, you know what? Yeah, like I said, there's gonna be another class. I got a whole nother one. So I got a whole nother one. So, dang man, because we at 1 hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm mad because I got some stuff I want to bring out today too with this, and it's cool though. That's cool. We gonna touch on it. We'll touch on it on the next class, part 2. I should have put part 1 on this title, but I'll do it again later. I might edit it. So 2nd Ezra chapter 7 verse 6.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7 and verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. You want to read?
Yep, go ahead, keep going.
The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water.
So what he said is, all right, look, he's letting you know, okay. And I saw the thing. Oh no, what the hell? I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong spot. My bad. All right, they said it's a broad field and it's full of good things. That's what he's talking about. Where he said there's so much that we have not even heard of it, and he didn't even see all the good things. He just probably seen the distance like a whole bunch of stuff. He says a field full of good things, full of good things. That's the inheritance that's waiting for us. But he said there's also a narrow path we got to walk. Read the rest.
And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once.
See, here's the thing about this. Like I said, when we're talking about having that high value man, you got to have that one that's going to walk that narrow path. And you got to see him walking that narrow path, and you got to follow him on that narrow path. And it also, because this high value man also going to have his children that's going to be in the same, matter of fact, let's get it Genesis 18 real quick. They're going to be in that same mold, same direction. They're going to follow and do exactly what he's doing. All right. So when it comes to being that true high value man, it's going to, and I'm going to close out after this with what a man actually is, which we've read it before, but I want to read it again. Go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 18 verse 18. Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him.
So he's going to be, we know Abraham's going to be great, right? Yeah, Abraham is that dude, right? Why? Let's see why. Verse 19.
For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him.
You see, and he will command them. Meaning he's going to command, he's going to walk that path, go into that broad field, and he'll be like, hey, y'all get on this path too. Y'all better, he going to command them after him. They're going to be walking after him towards that broad field. That's what a high value man is. God's like, oh yeah, this dude's high value. I know. I can rely on this dude. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, read.
And they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him.
So it says, and they will do justice and judgment, meaning he's going to make sure they keep the commandments, which is going to lead them to righteousness. See, that's what a high value man is going to do. He's going to lead them to. Well, I was going to touch on some of the notes for next week. That's like, because next week I'm going to go into more so with the sisters, how y'all need to get in line with those high value men, how y'all got to do your thing. But first I was outlining high value man. It's going to be a man of wisdom, a man of understanding, and that what really the value is in the knowledge of the Lord, the knowledge of right and wrong, judgment, judging what's right, what's wrong, and what's cool. I said judgment. Let's read this real quick. Give me 1 Corinthians 2 and 15 real quick. I think that's it.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter
You got that
2
quick.
and verse 15. But he that is spiritual, judgeth all things.
Hey, look, when we start reading on the street, we teach on the street, hey, we gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, all right, give me such and such, huh? All right, Lee, he gonna be reading before I finish my sentence. All right, damn, bro. All praise to the Most High, though. Be like, give me Zechariah chapter 6, and I didn't read I didn't say the verse yet. That's the verse I was going to though. But, anyways, what was I right say? I forget this. He got that quick. So, we need to be judging, right? We need to be able to judge between right and wrong. All right, go ahead. 1 Corinthians 2:15.
Okay. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man.
You see, so whoever's spiritual, whoever has discernment, wisdom, he judges all things. We're supposed to be able to judge between right and wrong. A lot of people are like, hey, you can't judge. No, stop that. No, yes, we do judge. We're supposed to judge. And we as men, we have to step up and be the judge. That's why God said in Corinthians 6, he says, don't you know the saints will judge the world? Mm-hmm. So if we're going to judge the world, we got to learn to start judging each other. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times people don't want to do that because it's uncomfortable, and you have to offend people. People get in their feelings, and you got to start telling people the truth, and it's going to hurt their feelings. Oh, well, that's what high value men do. We're going to be like, hey, look, no, that's not cool. You check each other. And we got to be courageous enough to whatever comes with it. Oh, you ain't going to be friends with me no more because I told you the truth? Shoot, I should have said it. Let's read it. Galatians 4:15. I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. I won't go into more scriptures. But, not 4:15. 4:16. 4:16.
4:16.
Yep.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4 and verse 16. Oh, nope. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
So, a lot of times we become enemies because we run game on people. Like, here's the we give them the game and then they mad at us. Hey, I gave you the game. What you mad for? I gave it. You're supposed to be glad I told you the truth. Now I'm your enemy. Now you against me because I'm telling you what's real. All right, well, cool. You know what? Don't mess with me no more. Stay where you at. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to be real with each other and do that. And that's why I try to be blunt as possible. It's some things, I try to hold back sometimes because I know at times, some people can't handle certain things, especially, in their youth, being younger. But in this certain point, like people that ain't in their super youth in their walk, nah, you need to get, I'm going to give you get to you raw because you're not getting it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get 1 Kings 2 and 2 now, and let's get this man definition. Alright, so, and be high value man, you have to be a man first, by the way. I was going to go here, but a lot of people know this scripture, but you can never get enough of this. Never too much.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 2 and verse 2. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
So, hey, King David's about to die. He said, become a man. Hey, grace and peace, Sister Zanisha. Grace and peace. Happy Sabbath. You came at the end of class. What's up? Verse 3.
Verse 3. And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
So here's how you be a man. Keep the commandments. Read.
To walk in his ways, to keep his statutes, and his commandments, and his judgments, and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself.
So that's what we got to do. Obey the law, statutes, and commandments. And he says, we'll prosper that way. AKA, become high value. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like I'm saying, that's why you go through the scriptures, you can tell, oh, it's what a high value man is. It's what a valuable man looks like. One that does these laws, statutes, and commandments. So that's the mode we got to be in. So you want to be a high value man? 1 Corinthians 11 and 9. And is it 9? 13, 9. Let me see if that's 13, 11. 1 Corinthians 13, 11. So understand these things. And like I said, we'll close out in a little second.
13.
Hey, yes, Sister Gabrielle, right? Yep, get good riddance. That's what we got to be. We got to be like, hey, well, good riddance.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. When I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
You see, and that's what we got to do. Be high value man, you got to put away childish things, meaning put away the foolishness that we would do in our youth. You know what I'm saying? We got to flee youthful lust. We got to flee all that stuff that we did in the world. We gotta become new creatures. High value men are willing to say, hey, you know what? I got problems in these areas. Let me fix myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I started off with. That's why I said that. True high value man is confident enough to be like, yeah, I got these problems. It's where I'm gonna work on though. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on this. And it is what it is. And those become the best. I know that because just different sports I played. When I was like, yeah, I'm weak in this area, I'd be out there practicing it. I'm not about to be weak. I want to be the best out here. And then I'm gonna keep. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm super competitive, but not just that with other people. With myself, because I'm always going against myself. I want to be a better version of myself every day. That's what you want to be. You want to be a high value man. Continue to want to be a better version of yourself, sisters. And this is the blueprint. You're gonna see what a high value man is going to look like. He's going to fit that mold. If you don't fit that mold, you gotta ask yourself, why do you want this dude? Because it obviously ain't of God. So let's go. 1 Corinthians 16:23, and we close out with that. And like I said, everybody, y'all enjoy y'all Sabbath. I'm about to get me some food and probably take, it's probably another 2 hours before I can take me another pill, but yeah. I'm kind of mad. This ginger ale didn't, wasn't even, I'll start coughing more. Pissing me off.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 16 and verse 23. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you.
All right, so I want the grace, I want his patience, his mercy to be with you, because I want it to be with me. And of course, to also help you with that, other people around me, I'm gonna have that grace and mercy and patience with them, because that's how we what's the word I want? That's how we be good examples, ambassadors of Christ. Go ahead, what you were saying?
No, I'm just reading some names. I'm reading names.
Oh yeah. Hey, by the way, happy Sabbath, Sister Yaima Israel. I don't know if I said shalom to you. If I didn't, my bad. Happy Sabbath. Glad you was able to make it. So we want that grace and that mercy to be with you all, Israel. Go ahead, verse 24.
Verse 24. My love be with you all in Christ Jesus. Amen.
And my love be with you all. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we want. We want that to be with you. We want to make sure it's, hopefully it helps sustain you in this time. You got anything?
Nah, I'm just, I just wanted to say thank you all for being with us once again. Even though we got a late start today, I was late to class, so sorry. Excuse me. But, we thank y'all once again, man, for always being here with us, for rocking with us, sending the word out to others. We got to get this word out if we want to get out of this captivity.
For sure. All praise to the Most High. Hey, and by the way, anybody that's, we ready to start getting stuff set up for Feast of Tabernacles, which will be, I think it's October 15th is when it starts. So, we're probably gonna start getting stuff ready. And hey, anybody that may be interested, want to keep the Tabernacles with us, let me know. Well, we can discuss it in the group, and whoever want to come down, and it's, of course, hopefully, somebody's. Yeah, just let me know. Let me know what's up. We'll talk, we'll discuss, and we'll see what we can do. You know what I'm saying? And, we had a good time last year. Yeah, we had a good old time, like, for real. Hey, yeah. So, we'll have another good time this year.
Despite the elements.
Yeah, yes. Hey, yeah, man. That's the only thing I'm thinking of, like, oh, my gosh. That's one reason I'm looking at, like, maybe go somewhere south, because, good God, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was some BS. Why it be so cold, man? It shouldn't be that cold this year. It shouldn't be. It might be a little earlier. It might be October. No, I think it was the 12th or something like that. Either way, it was cold. And then the last 2 days, it was just, it literally rained non-stop. I mean, dude, we sat in Gold Corral. We sat in there for like 8 hours. Was it like a work shift?
Oh, yeah.
We got in there early. It was in the morning.
We was in there for a long time.
We was in there just, we had a good time. We was in there just talking, eating. And we was in the middle of like, how can I say this?
Hicksville.
Yes, Hicksville, Edomite land. We was in some country town, and we just sitting in there. I'm sitting like, man, they got these. I'm surprised they ain't like, man, I'm surprised they ain't say, you niggas gotta get out of here. Like, sitting there just chilling. And we had a good old. We saw some fake Jews and everything. Oh, what did you put something? Oh, yeah. They did. They did have a picture of a black family hanging up in there too. We sat there for a minute, but we had a good time though, cause it was so cold. We didn't want to go back outside. We was like, man, we drove like 30 minutes to get to the place.
Yeah.
Then we drove back. By the time we drove back to after we drove back from eating there, sitting there all day, we was like, man, let's get out of here. We started packing up. It was too rainy. Some people's tents flooded. Yours flooded, didn't it?
Nah.
Yours didn't flood.
Nah.
Okay, I don't know. I know it's just two other people's flooded.
I have to tell you. About
Yeah,
that.
ours rain started dripping in on our so I'm be prepared next year, but I just don't want to. Hopefully, I'm prepared for nothing because that rain was some BS, man. We didn't get to go. Yeah, sorry. It's all right. Plus, we got the football last year, but we'll be good. Anyways, hey, Lord's will though, you know what I'm saying? We get it coming. You said, hopefully, oh yeah, you be there. All right, hey, Lord's will, that'll be what's up. We'll, like I said, but we're gonna get the location cemented very soon.
Love you too, Sister Gabrielle.
Hey, Sister Gabrielle's a trip. Hey, that's my dog. I can roll with Sister Gabrielle though. She a trip.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Hey, but like I said, thanks for rocking with us. Y'all enjoy y'all Sabbath. Grace and peace to the 12, man. And about to eat something. About to eat me some food. I'm hungry.
Shalom, everybody.
Grace and peace. Shalom.